Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar Driving Mango Success, the National Mango Board's Marketing Team's 2024-2025 Strategy. My name is Natalia Tello. I am the Research Manager at the National Mango Board, and I will be the moderator for this webinar. So to start our discussion on the NMB Marketing Team Strategy, allow me to introduce today's speakers, Mike Walber. Welcome, Mike. Mike has over 30 years of experience in retail, with the bulk of that time being spent in food and drug retails. He grew up in the supermarket industry, learning about every department from fresh to consumer goods. He has worked with Albertsons, IBM Associates, and the Walt Disney Company during his career. Currently, Mike is working as the Retail Marketing Manager at the National Mango Board. So with that being said, I want to invite Mike to please start the webinar.
Thank you, Natalia. And welcome. Here, we're going to go through what the National Mango Board presentation here for our success and strategy for 2024 and 2025. So a lot of things have happened for this year so far. Those of you who've kind of paid attention to the mango.org, we've launched a new website, much more vibrant than the one in the past. We had an amazing partnership with Disney with the Pixar's Inside Out 2. Just so happened to be the highest grossing animated film of all time. So great timing there. The National Mango Board, also we pulled together the Joyride, where we made 8 stops. And then our partnerships with Florida State and Ole Miss have been an amazing success as well. So as you can see, we've done a lot to get going, but it all starts with having a fresh new look and a brand recognition. Our colors have changed. So those of you who remember what mango.org used to look like, we've gone with a much brighter, vibrant color palette. We've added a new tagline and a lot of different video styles and everything else. So that was really becoming a key to how we move forward. As you can see, the website, old versus new, definitely a change for the better. As you can see, a lot different, a lot more bold colors, bright, more entertaining for the consumer. So one of our big successes was the Joyride 2024. We hit several stops, 8 of which tied into an Ole Miss football game, Florida State football game, 5 cities, and really made the reached out to the consumers in their hometowns to really drive mango consumption and have consumers actually try it, and some for the first time. So we had a stop at the Kroger in Oxford, Mississippi. This is kind of unique. We had just had a stop at the student union at Ole Miss on campus, and we were also at the Ole Miss football game the following day. The Kroger stop was the day after that. That store used to sell 114 mangoes per week. That's an average. For that one day we were there, they sold 1,679 mangoes, and they've managed to maintain over 300 mango sales a week since we've been there. And here's some photos from all of our stops. There was a lot of excitement. We had samples, t-shirts. It really drove a lot of attention and a lot of sales back into the stores that we were at. Cinco de Mango, another great success that really kicked off our season as mango season starts to really pick up with our new website. And we really focused on some real promotional activity tied in with Cinco de Mayo. And just through our website conversions, paid social, and different recipes, we were able to drive additional traffic to our sites. The Summer of Joy was when we really started to capitalize on our new tagline. And we looked at using Instacart as one of our methods of trying to drive sales through. Had a great average Instacart return on ad spend of $21.85, an 8.65% paid search click-through rate. Generally, the benchmark is 3%, so really saw a lot of additional traffic through that. We moved on to liven up their lunchbox. Again, trying to create promotional activities surrounding the different key times of season. Obviously, this would be back to school. Over 1 million in total impressions, a 1.82% paid social click-through rate. Again, benchmark was 1.25%. So we're really seeing a lot of activity and a lot of traffic through our wonderful website and social posts. And social continues to be the top traffic tactic for the National Mango Board. Partnerships have been a very successful for us. Florida State and Ole Miss really get a lot of visibility. And I think with what we were able to see just through the Ole Miss partnership and just how many students, faculty, fans saw us either on campus or at the game, when they stopped in at the Kroger stop, they mentioned that they had seen us through those points of contact. So looking ahead, that was just where we kind of started from, and in just a short amount of time, now we look ahead to Q1 2025, and how do we build from what we've accomplished so far? And we look at it this way. We're going to start off by spreading the joy in Q1 with a Mango New Year 2025. February will include For the Love of Mangoes. And then our Mango Madness is something we started to kind of tie in with the March Madness basketball tournament, just to play off of a recipe contest in a bracket format. We include evergreen branding, and our evergreen branding is part of our education, kind of more nutrition-based ads, social, retail, so that it's not all about the promotion. We can kind of educate the consumer as we go, and of course, using organic social content. So looking forward, we're going to be amplifying our website features, looking at Salesforce integration, increased gamification, continual content updates, enhancing our recipe photos and video content, and then a more retail integration and tracking. And keeping it fresh, again, trying to continue to try different things, highlighting, including like Taste the Joy, kind of pushing that new tagline and branding, utilize our evergreen POS. So again, very how to cut, how to tell if they're ripe, those types of things that we can continue to push, and then new in-store header and gamification. So something that we actually used for our launch of our new website, but it's this quiz that they can scan at the retail store.
Okay. What? Okay. Yes. No. Yay. Yes. What?
So the great thing about this gamification that we can utilize at the store and on the website is that we can change the questioning and make it seasonal. We can do a lot of different things. So it changes it up so we can use a lot of different variety and keep it interesting for the consumers as they test it out. So Mango New Year 2025. So we're looking at in-store retail, paid digital campaigns, website landing page, and seasonal recipes. Always trying to capitalize on what the trends are tied with, again, new year, new you, change for health and diet. So we're really looking at adding value to what we put out there, either through our social feeds, links on our website, just to make it more aligned with what the consumers are looking for. And the love of mangoes, followed by Mango Madness, which again was the tie off to the NCAA March Madness. So our PR calendar also plays into how we go about treating each of our quarters. So January, we'll be looking at evergreen themes. So daily pitching resources, editorial calendars, recipe of the month. Topics are going to be Valentine's Day, winter warmers, different types of recipes that are going to be ideal for that time frame. And then tying in with Valentine's with cocktails that might be ideal for a night out. February, looking again, the same daily pitching resources and the calendars, but we start looking at the next lead in. And so we're looking at a refreshing spring cocktail, or maybe inspired date night items, National Mango Day, Mango Madness. And March, looking at the spring into flavor, the mango smoothie recipes, and leading into Easter. Q2 brings in Cinco de Mango as we start rolling into it. And hopefully, right around Cinco de Mango, Cinco de Mayo, we'll be looking at our launch of our Joyride 2025. Now, Cinco de Mango, we did very well with, but we also did this time frame last year, or this year actually, the incredible success of our Disney partnership. And we're looking to pair up again with another entertainment IP to kind of continue that success rate and continue that lift with hopefully another great link. For Disney this go around, the participants who took our bins and materials actually saw a 32% increase in volume movement over the prior year. So it's really successful, not just in the focus on how much social media and attention our website was able to get through the sweepstakes, but it also did very well for the retail stores, and we're able to get some very good positive volume increases. The PR calendar, again, we'll be looking at Cinco de Mango, social tie-ins on TikTok and different recipes. Again, trying to grow educational portion of our mango, out there to the consumer, and then Mother's Day. May, we're starting to slip into always looking to kind of build into the next month. So we're starting to kick into the barbecue, summer kickoff, Father's Day. And depending on our promotional activity, might see something else there as well. And then June, best beach snacks, you're looking at July 4th, one of our probably the highest holiday as far as mango consumption, then National Mango Day, and then the continuation of Joyride 2025. Q3, we step into summer of 2025, and the Summer of Joyride should continue as we roll on. We're looking to actually do 10 stops this year, and then roll into our spokesperson, and then back to school. Our Joyride, we're actually looking to expand again to 10 stops this go around. And we're still in discussion as to which region of the country we're looking at, but we're kind of favoring the Midwest this go around, but that's still being discussed. Like I was saying earlier, that the potential kickoff would be around Cinco de Mango, which is Cinco de Mayo. We would love to be able to get involved with some Hispanic or ethnic chains. We're looking to run through the summer. This go around, this last one we did was kind of towards the end, really at the end of the mango season's peak. But we will be building off of those great learnings we got from this year's Joyride. And we're looking to continue to go beyond just stopping off at tailgating and football games, and try to get more involved with festivals and other areas where we can really get a broader audience and build that mango awareness. And of course, back to school, always a big push, as we actually did really well this year with the different types of recipes. But July will be leading in, again, the football season, back to school, education again on how to cut a mango. August will kind of feed the fall, the flavors, the mango cocktails, again, focused to the back to school, and then additional partnerships with Ole Miss leading the way. And then September, mango cocktails, have the best mango breakfast and brunch, and then we'll look at Halloween and other tailgating times. So really, again, kind of keeping an eye on those specific events during the year to really drive more consumption and more awareness. And Q4 will again continue with the tailgating portion, the holiday of joy, and on November 3rd, I believe, is our 20th anniversary. So we'll be really kicking off that 20th anniversary celebration of the Mango Board and all the things that we were able to do. All of this will be tied in with our continued organic social content and evergreen branding to continue educating about the hows and the whys and the benefits of mango and the nutrition that goes with it. And then partnerships for 2025. Ole Miss will be continued as we did this year. Great feature out there. They had the band around the stadium, and it really showed well. And it showed well so much so that the amount of fans that actually came when our Kroger stop the day after the game really commented on knowing that what they saw at the game, they came to see us there at the store. So the ribbon band goes around the entire stadium, gets circulated through with the other sponsors during the entire game. There's a karaoke sing-along, and then of course in-game mentions. So really a lot of value, and more so when they're playing well. Florida State continues to be a strong partner, obviously right there in Tallahassee, so easy to get to. And similar to the Ole Miss, football signage in the end zone with a tunnel LED and the field level LED video boards. Many may have watched some of the primetime games this year, particularly the behind the bench. A lot of coverage was seen during the telecast as well, and more social media videos from there as well. And the spokesperson, Jesse Palmer. Those might know him from the Bachelor Nation host. He's also the ESPN broadcaster for college football. He's actually part of the #2 team during Saturday's telecast, and Food Network Baking Championship host. So we're really looking forward to a partnership with him and bringing Mango, representing him as well. And of course, now we're looking at 20 years of Mango, this big turning point for the Mango board. And we're really looking to capitalize on a lot of the events, throughout the year. Obviously, we love our swag. We love what we are able to bring when we go do stops and be able to kind of share some great materials with consumers, and many things that we're looking at: water bottles, shirts, recipe books, cookbooks types things. So we're really looking at some different options out there. Of course, we'll be doing a lot of different digital promotions, some social media. Of course, it'll be featured on our website, and we'll be looking to do a lot of events as well to help continue to promote the National Mango Board and really celebrate this 20th anniversary. The holiday of joy. And this is something that interesting part with mangoes, because you think holiday, where does mango fit in? And that's what we're trying to do here, is to continue to showcase traditional recipes, but with a mango flair. So we're going to really make an effort on how we can find those great recipes that give you a little bit of different flavor during those special holidays. The PR calendar, we'll be looking at some events that take place during this stretch. The International Fresh Produce Association, they'll have their large trade show. So that's always a big event for us. But we'll be looking at, again, trying to tie in mango into traditional recipes. So what can we do for Thanksgiving? What kind of mango pies might we be able to offer? What kind of mango infused holiday drinks or gifts? Just different things that we can kind of add into and make mango more of a year-round item that can be used at any time and in any dish. And then December, what about a National Fruitcake Month with a mango-infused fruitcake? New Year themes will start kicking off in December, so we'll really be looking at trying to drive and start building into 2026. So some key metrics that we've come out of so far out of 2024, and we've run into some challenges with volume coming in from different countries and not really being able to start the year off as strong because of weather. So volume so far is down 23.9% versus last year. Dollar velocity is down -6.2. And we are ranked as, based off of volume velocity, the 11th fruit. Bananas being number 1, avocados 2, limes 3, apples 4, and grapes 5. And then based off of sales velocity, we rank 16th. But as you can see in this slide, volume per store per week, 246.7. Not that far away from taking into the top 10. And really with good volume, we can start to kind of push up, because you can see that with a negative 20.5 change over year, just how much that had dropped us down, given some of the other commodities having some struggles as well. So the retail promotional calendar looks a little different, obviously, because we're not really looking at a lot of social, but when it comes to retail, there's a lot of things that tie into how consumers go to shop. So we'll still have New Year 2025, Mango Madness, Cinco de Mango, the summer of 2025, back to school, and tailgating. We'll also infuse the evergreen branding, how to cut a mango, how to tell if a mango's ripe, and a lot of different aspects of featuring recipes and different things, different tie-ins. We look at the consumers as in a different methodology. Is a lot of times they are looking and see things on social, digital, and that's what will drive them into the store. So a lot of our retail assets will actually be a reflection of some of those assets. So we want to make sure that there's a reflective point, so when they see it in one medium, they'll see it in another. So we want to make sure it's more of a 360 approach and to drive retail business. So key resources, it's going to include something we haven't done, will be to have a lot of our materials in Spanish. A lot of materials that we've had over the years have been strictly in English, and we're really making an effort this year and really tail off at this end of this year to make a more of an impact into our ethnic retailers and really drive more awareness throughout the retail landscape. And another thing we're looking at as well is getting involved in the retailers' events. So if they're opening a new store, why not have something that's grand opening and help celebrate their new store with some signage that will obviously help support mango consumption? So we want to try to continue to be a part of the retailer's operation, help them continue to build their awareness of mango consumption, and again, build mango volume. And to bolster all of that, we would have sell sheets with our different programs. So we want to be able to, have those out there so the retailers can see what's available, not just in print form, but we can email it out to them. Our website will have the order forms, and they can actually download the assets themselves. So if they did not want to have them shipped to them, they can actually download them. The logos and assets like that, they can actually utilize in their advertising as well. So we're trying to give them a lot of different variety of materials that they can use and help drive their business as well. So all of the printed materials, they do not pay for. We actually use that as part of their promotional support. But all of these different promotions, these items of the year that we focus on, is really to try to make sure that it's part of their shopping basket. How does mango fit into back to school, or what can they do for Cinco de Mayo that may be a little different? And so we have Cinco de Mango. What can they include with new year and a new healthy diet and start? What's the value of mango as we go into this new year, and what are those health benefits, and how can we continue to add that? Summer, tailgating, grilling. What can we do differently, or what can we show them how to do differently with their normal recipes? How can mango make their wing recipe better? So we're looking at ways that we can just kind of incorporate that education and kind of liven up their barbecue. And then one focus that we have that is a little different than we've done in the past is to try to make the resources that we have be cost and time effective. So we want to have these materials available, but we also don't want to be sitting on them for a lengthy period of time. Our Cinco de Mango design for this year, 2024, is going to be different for 2025. So we want to be able to have a fresh new look. So we want to be able to print on demand, to be able to supply really fresh new looks each season. So this is part of being good time effective and being cost effective. So we're not printing a lot and holding it, storing it. This will help keep our resources in a much better state as we go from season to season, and will help promote in the stores a much better. So we're showing something new each go around. And then try to continue to drive education and engagement, utilizing the resources that we have, including QR codes on our signage, including the options to have this virtual entertainment, to be able to do a mango quiz at the retail store, or have a selfie with a character or something unique that might be different when they're at the store, just through using our signage. So try to make sure that we're making it interesting while they're at the store, but also making it memorable. So we want to make sure that continues. And then the next time they come in, they're looking for something different. And it just gives us a little bit more longevity, and longer a customer can stay in the store. Usually it's the more they spend. And of course, when it comes to retail, is always signage. And it's always that standard tactic. But we'll be bringing back retailer units, but doing it differently, where we'll phase them in so that we're maintaining a good, consistent display throughout the year, given the opportunity for a chance to refresh in case they get damaged, having replaceable header cards so that they can stay seasonally relevant while maintaining a stable display unit at their store, having various different signs sizes to be able to achieve whatever store layout we can still continue to promote within those. Having Iron Man posters, great to stand up in the store, but they can also put them in the windows. It gives multiple functions. Shelf bullets help with cross promotional. We've got a great recipe on one of our displays. What great way to continue to cross promote, but have a small shelf bullet that just indicates that this is part of that recipe. And it helps the total store with sales versus just the base display. And then trying different things that are going to fit different store formats, shelf strips, sliding backing cards, different things that might be able to be used that's going to help promote as we go forward from store to store. And again, most of all, this is a 360 approach. It's going to be what they're going to see on the website. That's digital, it's social, it's at the retail level. There's all kinds of different points of contact, and every customer is going to be a little bit different. They're going to be driven one way or the other, and we want to make sure that what they're seeing in different avenues they're going to see is going to be consistent. Cinco de Mango is going to look the same at the retail stores. It looks on social media. It's going to look on website. Continually keeping that branding and recognizing, what's important for the consumer. And that's it. I guess we open up for questions now.
Yes, thank you very much, Mike. We do have time for some questions. One question that we have is, what are strategies that the National Mango Board is implementing to increase awareness and demand of mangoes, especially considering consumer health and wellness trends?
Well, we've been working with one of our agencies to try to drive more awareness on the health benefits. There's still so much that we can continue to do, but a lot of our evergreen signage and social media is surrounded by the value of the nutritional value that that the mangoes have. So there's different avenues for it, and we're going to continue to implement those assets throughout the year, just as a supplement to the regular promotional space.
Yeah, that's one of the strongest tools that we have for promotions, I think. I have a question. How can the retailers have access to, for example, the bin programs and all those other signage that they can use within the stores?
Great thing is all that signage is available through our website. We have a retail section in there, and it's a point of sale link on there, and they can order any of those signage. They just input it on the website, and it gets submitted, and we ship it right out. But the bins themselves, the retail bins, will actually be putting that out there with a message early in 2025 to start the process. We will do a special order to start that out there, so that we get everybody started off the season with what they need.
Perfect. We have a question in the chat that says, well, I'll reword it. What do you think is the biggest difference between the strategies that we've conducted in 2024 to the ones that we'll conduct in 2025?
Well, there's a lot of learnings that we've come from these last this year, and so we know that certain signs maybe not as popular. I think getting the information out sooner is certainly going to be of value to that. The one thing that I think is the big learning is that we really didn't do this previously to this year. We might have had stuff, but we really didn't have it available, and it wasn't seasonally set. So we might have had a Cinco de Mango, but we didn't have anything for summer. We didn't have anything for back to school. So what we found is that there was definitely a interest and success rate from using those. And now we know that we can expand out on that. So you'll see that we did Mango Madness, but through social. Now we're going to do it through retail. So there's different avenues that are going to build. And we're going to do Holiday of Joy, which we didn't do, but we know there's a need. So what we kind of dipped our toe in the water a little bit. Now we're seeing that there's some interest and value.
Perfect. We have a question in the chat from Jose, and he asked, what are some of the strategies that we're implementing for online sales to attract consumers to the Mango website?
So online sales, we don't really control. Obviously, we don't sell anything, but we are going to everything that we try to put out through social, even on our print, is going to have some QR codes to drive consumers back to our website. Of course, our website has the ability to buy mangoes. It will link you to a site. Price Spiders is the group it's called, and it will actually give you all of the stores that were within your radius. And you can use that to decide, one, if they have it or have what you're looking for, and then you can actually purchase through there, or just by knowledge of who has it, you can drive there as well.
Yeah. And I'll add a lot of the things that are done with promotions and collaborations and stuff, they all kind of drive consumers to the Mango website. So that's one of the ways that they're getting attracted to the website. We have a question by Perez Calderon, and it says, are there any materials or programs that are specific for organic mangoes?
We don't have anything at this point. One, because it's been a very a small percentage of the volume, but it isn't something, again, we go by what's asked. If a retailer came and said, you know what, we really could use some signage on organic and the value of organic, we would look at getting something created and get something to them within a few days, a week, depending on the ask. So it's not something we try to look at least from on the retail side, is how what do the retailers need? What's going to help them drive more volume, and see if we can't come up with solutions for that.
And also to add, we kind of don't discriminate to what we promote, right? We do general mango promotions.
Yep.
So we tend not to do very specific, like we don't tend to promote a certain variety or certain country or stuff like that. So everything we do is all encompassing in that sense. Okay, so we have an additional question from Charles. It says, congratulations to the NMB for the excellent marketing idea and programs. The most crucial aspect is to emphasize the consistency and optimal quality of mangoes. And that starts with adequate farming at point of origin from post-harvest, harvest, and pre-harvest. Let's see. Making sure that mangoes ripen optimally for the consumers to be attracted to the mangoes by great flavor and superfood value. What are some strategies that the National Mango Board has or is planning to ensure that?
I think a lot of it comes to education. So whether we're trying to educate the consumer or educate the retailer specifically on best practices, how to handle, how to store, how to display. So they're not, so that they know what, the right stage of the mango is, and really be able to pass that information along to the consumer. That's I think that's the biggest gain that we can ever make, is to really have the consumer and the retailer understand what and how important quality is, and how to be able to explain that to their shopper. So that's definitely something, I know we've tried things in the past, and we've got some ideas going forward, kind of a flip book type of thing that we can get to the retailers that will help with that. But yeah, there's a challenge because of the turnover that happens at the retail level.
Okay, perfect. A question that we have is, and if you can answer it, how does the NMB help growers produce mango with high quality and food safety?
From the marketing side, we really don't have a lot of say in that one. I think that really comes down to your team, Leo and Natalia and Cesar.
Yeah, we have our production post-harvest project. Okay, let's see. So what protocols or standards can the NMB establish to help consumers have a better mango experience?
I think it comes down to it's going to be the education piece. It's definitely going to be, we're working on signage. Right now we've got some stuff that we just got approved to move into production phase on how to cut. We're working on, trying to build that what's ripe message, so they know what to look for, and understand that it is by feel, not necessarily by color. So it's always that part, the challenge to educate that piece of it. But we are looking at every angle to continue to build on that education and that nutritional value. So those are just things that we're going to continue to build and address as we go. And this year will be a strong one for that, because we really put some resources towards that end of it.
Perfect. I think we covered all the questions in the chat. Thank you very much, Mike. We look forward to seeing you participation in future National Mango Board webinars. I want to mention that this marks the end of our 2024 webinar series, and we look forward to bringing new and exciting topics for our 2025 series. This concludes our session. Thank you all for attending.